Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today, words of wisdom from Charlie Chaplin. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you can find links to my author's page. At Amazon, that's where you can buy my books in paperback or for Kindle or in audiobook format. There's also a link to my Spotify artist page. That's where you can buy my records in their various subgenres. In 2024, I had a 4-album series called Quadrilogy. And new for 2025, I've got a pop album called I'm Possible. Now you can download those not just at Spotify, but anywhere across the internet. At my website, however, there's free music you can only get there. So enjoy it. Okay, Charlie Chaplin, the screen legend and auteur, gives us these words of wisdom. Your naked body should only belong to those who value your naked soul. Your naked body should only be available to those who value your naked soul. Well, Chaplin was a tender man, but he was a great womanizer. He had many ongoing love affairs. It's not that he was known to jump from bed to bed, but he certainly did have a number of important romantic relationships, almost exclusively with his leading ladies. So here was a man who was not afraid to share his naked body. But he was also not a man who was afraid to share his naked soul. And this is part of what he's getting at here, I think. If you were first going to give your body to someone, shouldn't you first offer up the thing of greater value? The honest representation of who you are. When he says your naked soul, he means the truth of who you are. He means so many things here. Your naked body should only be given to those who value your naked soul. So he draws a correlation between the nakedness of the body and the purity of the soul. And what he's saying is basically when you give someone your naked body, you're giving them your naked soul too. And if they don't value the one, they're not going to value the other. And that the true test of giving, you don't give your body first, you give your soul first and see how that goes. Then your body follows. Now this might be better advice to women than men, but I think to any young person. It's harder to give away a piece of your soul than your body. It is. It's easier just to strip your clothes off than to strip off the defenses that protect your insecurities. But also very often these things are intertwined. When one is insecure, it is often body dysmorphia, one's sense of one's own appearance, which is the cause of that insecurity. And then also the nakedness of the body, this is about having sex. So that brings up other insecurities. You can absolve those insecurities by creating a relationship first, by knowing that the person embraces the true nature of who you are. Then you can share your naked body with impunity and with abandon. But if you do it without sharing a bit of your soul first, then you don't know who you're giving this away to. You also don't, it also is, you can take this quote and use it in talking about who you want to be with. Let that person share a bit of their naked soul first before they share a bit of their naked body. They're going to want to. They're going to want to. I think very few people just want to knock boots for the sake of alleviating the tension. Maybe they do. I think that's why Pornhub exists. So I don't I don't know. I think back in Chaplin's day even, they had some porn. So it was more about an expression of affection and of personal perception than it was just a physical need. At least for Chaplin it was. And I think what he suggests is not only should we all first give a part of this before we give a part of this to know where this is going, but also expect the other person to do likewise. Now, if I had a child, a son or a daughter, or whatever complicated modern ascriptions there may be there too, it doesn't matter, because it's the same thing. Whoever they are, whatever orientation they choose, they have a naked body and they have a naked soul. And if they're going to share it, then the other person will have the same two things. So it's important, regardless of your fixation on the details. Your naked body should only be shared with those who value your naked soul. Or as Smokey Robinson put it, you better shop around. But it's Chaplin's use of the word naked which makes so clear the depth of what he's talking about. And it's true, I think it should be anyway, that the naked body, your naked body, is a unique thing and should be treated that way. And sex with a person, any sex between two people is necessarily a unique thing. Because just as no man ever steps into the same river twice, because it's not the same river and he's not the same man, no sex can occur between... The same sex cannot occur between different couples. Two different people makes a different sex thing. Even if it's the same act, same position, same duration, the psychology behind the two people and the experience level and all that stuff, it's going to be a unique thing. It's not just like a handshake. And you should treat your naked body, you should revere it in the same way you treat or revere your naked soul. They are connected, Chaplin tells us. They are part and parcel of the same thing. They're one and the same almost. If you desecrate your naked body, do you not also desecrate your naked soul? By protecting your naked soul, isn't the best way to do that to protect your naked body? They go together. Chaplin is reminding us of the essential connection between these two things, body and soul. And also the connection person to person. He was a person for whom romance was very important. He was not, one might like to say that he was a lone wolf. In a lot of ways, he was a lone wolf. A classic Sigma. You can read about that in my book. But the Sigmas usually don't need a woman like he always did. Man, he just didn't want to be alone. Maybe it was because he had his childhood, he had a very tumultuous childhood. I know his upbringing was, he lacked a stability in his early home life in London, I believe. And then he took to the stage in vaudeville at a very young age, and that became his home. So I think he was always trying to create a homestead, in a way. But that's not the Sigma impulse. That's a alpha impulse. That's a beta impulse. Even a delta impulse, but it's not really a Sigma impulse. So he was a complex man, and he did enjoy women's company vigorously. So it wasn't all about just holding hands and batting his eyes with these girls. Paulette Goddard. You had to be quite a man to handle Paulette Goddard, I'm imagining. So Chaplin was not unaccustomed to the naked body. But he just reminds us all that it's the naked soul that counts. And that there's no divorcing the one from the other. And when you play around and find out with the one, when you play around with one, you're going to find out with the other. To put it in a modern parlance. If you'll allow me, Charlie. Okay, and with that, I will say goodbye for this time on Quotes and Quips, but tune in Monday after next, because I'm here every other Monday on this YouTube channel at noon with a new episode of Quotes and Quips. On every other Monday, the alternate Mondays, I'm still here, but it's a new show called Fletcher Rhoden's Pet Peeves, because, misery loves company. So check it out. There's also last year's run of Quotes and Quips still running on this YouTube channel in reruns. And there's another show from 2023 called Tracking the Lone Wolf, which runs on its own channel on YouTube called Tracking the Lone Wolf. So subscribe to that, subscribe to this, check out that book and all my other books, my new record, I'm Possible. That's available this year. Wherever you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. Tune in again, won't you? And until then, bye, Mary.